Peekaboo! Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be showing off my cool new VTuber model. Yay! Not only are we going to be talking about how we actually got here, I'm also going to be talking about everything that's been happening to the channel up until now, because there have been a lot of weird stuff and cool stuff that have been happening. Now, I'm still trying to kink this out a little bit, trying to take out all the kinks and testing it out and everything, but I think I have everything working a bit better. So I will explain all of this stuff in a minute, but first we have to start from the very beginning. But first, before we get started, I just want to say I'm going to be putting chapters all over the video. This shouldn't be a very long video since I'm going to be explaining things pretty quickly. So there's going to be chapters under the video right there showing each step on how we eventually got here, from the channel changes, like all the avatars and stuff, to me having my very own VTuber model. So let's get started. So this all started in September of this year. After a while of posting some Sons of the Forest videos, I took a long, significant break. And at this point, I had gotten my second version of my avatar for my YouTube channel, which was the one you've seen probably for the very longest time. But after all those months of thinking about it, I thought I needed an upgrade. Not only did I want a totally new avatar, I wanted something that was specifically unique to me. So I went to the only person I could possibly trust. You may already know them from my Fortnite videos and live streams. It was my very good friend, Jet Mist. Now, we have been friends for quite a while now. Actually, my other friend from school introduced me to her, and she happens to be the very same person that made the second iteration of my avatar, which was the previous one before this one. So I thought, why not go back to her? It's someone I trust, and what could go wrong? So in mid-September, I start messaging her on Discord. I won't actually show all the messages, but I'll just go through a brief rundown of what we were talking about. So September 16th, and I start out by saying, "Hey Jet, I was wondering if you'd be interested in helping me redesign my avatar." After discussing a bit of the budget terms and everything, we got down to creating concepts. So after a while of talking, I decided to go for a whole new redesign rather than just remaking the same thing that I already had. So the first thing she asked me to do was give her some references and that she would start sketching right away. Now at this point, I hadn't gone that far yet. So I had to rush and think of something very quickly for my new avatar. Keep in mind, this is only the first stage of my channel change. This is the banner and the avatar. Alright, so this is the point in the video where I put myself in the very corner and I show you some of the references that I showed her. So the first image I sent was what clothing my avatar would be wearing. For those of you who know, I really love Dragon Ball, so I thought the jacket that Trunks was wearing was just a perfect for this avatar. I just had to have this jacket and this black shirt because it looked so cool. Now I made sure to say not the pants because I actually wanted to do something very different for this whole thing. You may have already noticed, but I'll get to that in a second. Now this is where we get into some lore. So for the hair, I decided to go for Todoroki's whole hairstyle and hair color to match my very old profile picture on YouTube. I used to rock this a long time ago. I don't remember if I started making videos at this point, but this was what my avatar on my profile picture for YouTube was for the longest time. Now this is where we get to the good stuff. I wanted to be holding some very specific items from multiple franchises that I loved. First up was Kylo Ren's lightsaber. Now, a lot of people don't like the Disney Star Wars movies, and I admit it, I don't really like them either. But you gotta admit that Kylo Ren's saber was one of the most unique and cool sounding looking lightsabers in the whole franchise. Now, there are a lot of cool looking lightsabers, especially Darth Maul's, but this one stood out to me the most, and I don't have it here, but the whole thing with me holding a lightsaber at all is an inspiration from a fellow YouTuber named Geekdom101. I actually took a lot of reference from him in making my avatar because his also holds a red lightsaber and he has glasses and is Frieza. So I thought that was pretty cool. Not only did I want to be holding one of the most popular weapons in fiction, but I also wanted to have some more references from Dragon Ball. Next up, was the Dragon Balls that Frieza's holding right here, in the exact same way, hovering over my hand while holding the lightsaber. And if you see my profile now, you'll see exactly how it matches up. And after checking out a few color palettes, we got into what the posing would look like for my new avatar. Now, I have Gogeta up here, but this is actually for the second, is another part to the clothing, because I actually wanted to show that these were two characters fusing together. The belt, the little thing here, and the pants. All of that pretty much leads us here where we are today, with the main avatar being the main profile picture for my channel. But of course, you also need to have a new banner, which I decided to do as well. So, for posing for this banner, which was going to be a different pose, was this Trunks right here taking this pose, which is really interesting. Now, if you've seen my banner and at the beginning of this video, the background that I used, you'd know that we kind of went for this sort of aesthetic. It was more rocky in the end, but basically I wanted a type of future Goku Black Arc type of background. Now, I don't actually have the image on my PC right now, but I should be able to pull it up for you in editing. So this Dokkan wallpaper is basically what inspired the banner profile, because the background kind of looks similar. And as you've probably seen, I have his left side on fire when he's actually in attack mode. So what I decided to also have done was a bit of an aura similar to this, but out of fire, which is what you see in the final product. At this point, funnily enough, I had also gone into Roblox and made the exact same character 1-to-1, which is really hilarious to me. And after all that, we were done finally with the new channel banner and profile picture. Here they are both. Here's the banner, and here is the main profile picture. Now, at this point, it was October and everything seemed pretty okay. I was loving the new design, and everyone seemed to be happy with it as well. But it wasn't over yet. Almost a month later brings us to Twitter, and out of all places, Toonrami's Twitter. Now, this has nothing to do with him. This is just where I posted what was soon to be a commission. So after being very happy with all the channel changes, I thought I needed one little thing, and that was to become a PNG tuber. But you're probably asking, why are you a VTuber then if you wanted to be a PNG tuber? That's a good question, which we will get into in a second. Now, the reason we are here on this specific post is because this is where I posted one little thing. Anyone know any good chibi artists? Now, you could see here there have been 37 replies. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I will talk about this in a second. First, I want to cycle back a bit. Why did I want to become a PNG tuber all of a sudden? Well, I've seen lots and lots of cool PNG tubers on TikTok, YouTube, and VTubers as well. Which brings us to our next chapter. For a while at this point, I had been a huge fan of multiple different people on YouTube doing similar things to what I'm doing right now. Now, I say a fan of, but that's not really true. It's more like I thought their stuff was cool, and I kind of wanted to follow in their footsteps. One of them being Jellybean. Now, you're probably wondering, why on earth Jellybean? Well, for some reason, back in 2021 or 2, I can't even remember, she was all over my For You page on YouTube, and I don't know why. I guess at the same time, I've been watching a lot of Dream videos and all of his manhunts, so I guess she was also being recommended to me as well. That was one of the first times I saw what a PNG tuber was. Now, funnily enough, if we go here to Google, search a PNG tuber definition, we see here in the first result, a person that is a YouTuber or Twitch streamer that has PNGs, pictures of them having different emotions to tell something, which is basically all that it really is. Even funnier is that Jellybean is right here. Now, I don't know much about them at all. One of the main things is that they were called cringe all the time, and then they seemed to just disappeared off my page, which I was actually thankful for. Continuing the whole PNG tuber thing, it explains it perfectly well right here. 2D PNGs. Now that seemed extremely easy enough at first. So coming back to this post that I made down here, keep in mind I had already made all my channel changes. I have my new profile picture. I have my avatar. What's next? Make them small and a PNG, which I thought would be the best thing to do at that point, because I thought that'd be pretty cool, which is the reason I said, anyone know any good chibi artists? I thought maybe I could meet some good artists, see what they could do, commission them a few pieces of art, and then be on my way becoming a PNG tuber. Now that is how it all started, until everything changed. Now, actually going into all the replies, there were many talented people that stood up and said that they were up for the task. But there was one person that stood out to me. For some reason, I went to Katie Arthur. Now, funnily enough, I went back and checked, and I don't think she actually left a comment on my comment. See, what had happened after I made that post, multiple people, as you just saw, started responding, following, to get my attention, so that they can DM me. After a while at looking at all those people, I decided to just start following back some of those people and see who would respond and who I could talk to. Lo and behold, I found Katie Arthur, which was already in my DMs. I asked them if they looked at my reply and were here for the commission that I've talked about. Now, I won't actually show the DMs for privacy, but I will go over basically what went down. Now, to sum up everything, we got to an agreement, everything went through, and we eventually got to this image. After getting the first image, they asked if I'd be using it for VTubing. Now, at this point, I didn't actually really know what I wanted to do, until I decided, you know what, let's just go for it. And so all the rigging and modeling began. And so after all that brings us here, where you see me now. Let's actually get into everything about this model. So for starters, we got the hair. It swivels back and forth. I can adjust it to my liking, but I think I got it at a nice little sway here. Now, we also have the earrings, the Botara earrings, which is for a little bit of storytelling with this whole character and everything that he's about. Working our way down, we actually have the lightsaber behind us, which is exactly the same as how I have it on the Roblox character, which is actually pretty cool. Now, of course, I'm still gonna have to get used to all of this. My camera is admittedly pretty crappy, so I will have to figure out some ways to do all of this new stuff and how it all works. But I've been experimenting for a little bit, and I kind of got it down to something that I like. Now, keep in mind that this is actually what I'm going to call version 1 of this model, because basically this is the most basic version of this type of modeling that I could have gotten. And honestly, it's all I really need. Something very small. It basically accomplished everything that I wanted with the PNG tubing that I was going to do, which is basically just my mouth moving, my eyes kind of looking where I want them to. I still have to work that out a little bit, and with an added bonus of some little physics, which is pretty cool. And of course, I could probably have a lot of things added to this in the future, which is actually what I'm planning. Maybe in a few years' time, I'll get a way better one. But this one, as it is right now, is pretty cool. And as my first, I think it's a really cool thing. Now, before ending this, I just want to give a huge thanks and a huge shout out to Katie Arthur for helping me out with this. She's been very amazing. She was very understanding, and I definitely recommend her if you guys want to have your own VTuber models. And with that comes the very end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you want to follow me on this brand new adventure that we're going to go on together. I will see you in the next video. See ya!